Hi everyone and welcome to the Cavan Community and Culture Show. As usual, I'm your host, Grace McKiernan, and this week we've got a pretty awe-inspiring interview with Tutu Kalumbi, a refugee from the Congo who's currently living in Cavan, and Sean Colgan, who has written a book together with Tutu about his life's journey. That's coming up a little bit later in the show, but to start off we'll talk about some of the cultural events that are going to be coming up in Cavan over the Christmas weeks. Cavan County Council has commissioned historian Johan Farrelly to conduct research into the county's revolutionary period from 1912 to 1923. Stories and memorabilia from this time are being sought to contribute to the work and gain a greater understanding of life in the county during these years from both nationalist and unionist backgrounds. A book dealing with events during the Irish Revolution will be published in 2018. If anyone has any stories or memorabilia, please email Johan Farrelly, that's JOHANFARRELLY @gmail.com, or call Cavan County Library on 049 43 78 500. The Coothill Arts Festival have set the dates August 22nd to 26th for the festival next year and elected a new committee. Locals can look forward to another exciting mix of literary, visual and performance arts in the new year as plans are already underway. An art exhibition from local artist Amy Hughes is being held in Loughcrew Megalithic Centre, Oldcastle. This is Amy's first exhibition inspired by the local area. Moon Radio is on at the Town Hall Cavan Art Space. The moon crashes to Earth and the opera begins. Created by Larry Bowe and Gonzo Theatre Director Philip Doherty, the show is on Friday the 22nd, Saturday the 23rd, Wednesday the 27th and Thursday the 28th at 8 p.m. Tickets are available on the Town Hall Cavan's website. We have a really special interview for you guys this week. Tutu Kalumbi is a refugee who fled the Congo 20 years ago to Tanzania, where he lived in a number of different camps with his wife and family before being resettled in Cavan about 4 years ago. He has a truly remarkable life story, from secretly going to school when he was 8 through the dangerous grasslands around his town to meeting his wife and starting a family, then having to flee his good life in the Congo to start anew in a refugee camp in Tanzania. His determination and spirit kept him going in the multiple camps he lived in as he grew a farm to feed his family and started a group to advocate for equal rights among the various tribes in the camp. He recounted the stories of his journey from the Congo to Cavan to Sean Colgan, and the two of them have written a book together. A few weeks ago, Tutu and Sean came into the studio for a chat and to talk about how the book came about. The interview is a bit longer than usual, but it's definitely worth a listen. Yeah, so I just want to ask you about your life in the Congo and your childhood and growing up and how education was really important to you growing up.
Yeah. My life in the Congo was difficult sometimes because I can say that I started to study when I was 8, and at the time I didn't have clothes. I was only the short, yeah. But I didn't have a top. But I decided to go to school, and after 2 days, my brother gave me a top, and I continued to go to school. But it was hard because the school was far. It was far, and the way from home to school, it was a long way. The way was covered by the long herb, the long grass. Every time when we went to school, it was to put the clothes in the plastic. And when we see that we are near to school, now we put the clothes and we wear. Every day it was like the same. And it was because we was 20 plus children at the time who from our village to go to school. I finished my primary school, and I went in secondary school, But I moved to the village. Now secondary school, it was in the town. It was a town in Uvira. And I finished my secondary school in Uvira. Uvira was a district, like a small county, because the county was Safukivu in Bukavu. The region was in Bukavu. Now, when I finished my secondary school, I joined the veterinary school in Bukavu, and I studied it for 3 years. When I finished for the 3 years in veterinary school, I started to work. I applied. I stayed home for 1 year, and then now, after 1 year, I started the work in Uvira, in Cavan, my first my first working place. My work it was to supervise or to control, to inspect the meat, and to deliver the payment for the meat or the meat or cow who will travel out to the village.
And was it a good job to have?
Yeah, it was at the time it was a good job.
Okay.
Yeah, because every day, every time I had a meat, when I inspect, I can have some meat.
And was it not normal for everyone to kind of have meat for your meals each day?
It was normal. It was normal. It was a law. It was a normal.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you inspect meat, you should eat to confirm that the meat is good for eating. If you don't eat, it means the meat is not good for eating. Yeah, it was normal. Now at the time, my job was good, because every time, every day I had a meat. I had a fish, because also I inspected the meat, the fish. Yeah, it was a good job at the time.
And you met your wife as well, and you fell in love with her, and you got married.
Yeah. I met my wife for the first time in the area in the lake, in the border, in the place that the fishermen, when they come from the lake with the fish. Yes. How to say
the shore?
Sorry?
To the shore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the place that if it's a fisherman,
yeah.
Fishermen in the lake.
Yes.
And now in the morning they come out the lake.
Yes.
Yeah. The boat. Port. Yeah,
yeah.
The port.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the port they had many restaurants, many businessmen was there.
Of course.
And now my wife, she was a young girl. She worked with her mom in the restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I saw her. For the first time I saw her, and I didn't say anything. Second time, now I called her. I say hi, and she said hi in Swahili. And we started our dialogue. I love you. I love you.
Did you love her when you first saw her?
Yeah.
Oh.
I loved her. I loved her. And he showed me. He asked me, "You are sure?" I said, "Yes. If you can permit me to go home, to go your home, to meet you in your home." He told you, "No problem, you can come."
And then you got married?
Yeah, and after 1 week, I went to their home. Now, their parents saw me, and I returned to my home. After 1 year, yeah, I paid some, because, our culture, you have to pay something in the family. I paid 2 cows, and we get married.
And would you say, so you were married and you had a good job, would you say that you had a good life in the Congo when you were there?
Yeah, at the time we had a good life. Yeah.
And then things changed quite quickly, didn't they? You found out that your father had been taken, and you had to go into hiding, and then you had to move to Tanzania. And how difficult was it to go from, as you described, a good, happy life and to things changing so quickly?
Yeah, it was a problem. And when I was informed that my father was killed, because we was far. Me, I lived in a town, Uvira. My father lived in the village, Lemera. And I received the message, the information from the people that your daddy was killed. And now it was difficult for me. And the people told me that maybe you also can be, if you can look how to do. Maybe the people who killed your father can kill you again also. Now I prepared, I ran in the forest for 3 days. At the time, it was some friend who prepared me to travel in Tanzania. Who prepared to see the boat, how I can run in Tanzania. And after 3 days, he told me, okay, the boat is ready, because the boat traveled every time in the night. And we found the boat, and we traveled in Tanzania.
And were you scared?
Sorry?
Were you scared? Were you afraid?
Yeah, many afraid. You don't know who are your enemy, We found it to get in Tanzania. In immigration in Tanzania, they received us. What happened, we explained it with the cause we ran it in Tanzania. So, okay. They took us in the camp. They put us in the camp. There was one camp at the time. They took us in the camp. The camp was in the Tabora region. We started a new life, new refugee life in the Tabora.
What was life like in the camp? Did it take a long time to get used to living in the camp as a refugee? How did you get on with other people who were in the camp also?
It was difficult because my journey in the camp it took 21 years in a refugee camp. And there's a life in a refugee camp, like Africa refugee camp, people suffering is there. The ration, it was beans every time. You can cook beans for 2 days. It was very, very hard. 2 days. You cook until 2 days. You still cook the beans. It was difficult, but we continue every time. And because the life was hard, we started to do something, how to change the ration. And I started to learn how to farm the land. Yeah.
So you wanted to make life better for yourself in the camp.
Yeah.
You wanted to be able to make your own food and help yourself.
Yeah. Because the ration we received, it was very, very small, and it was not better. Now we tried how to do. I tried to farm the land, to get like vegetable, to have a new beans, to have like maize, and when I farmed, okay, the life started to get better, to ameliorate our life.
And did you have children at the time?
Yeah, at the time I had one children. When I one kid, when I ran in Tanzania, I had one kid. My first girl, Consolata. She was maybe 1.5, and after 3 years, after 1 year, we get another one, another boy.
And what was your house like? What was the build, like your home like?